Welcome to another mobile edition of Crime Time with DutyRon and this guy over here in Utah, Ed Wallace. We are two retired New York City police detectives with over 40 years combined experience in the New York City Police Department and in law enforcement. If you like all things true crime related from the police perspective, please consider hitting the subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you will get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when we go live or upload another video. Today, we're going to talk about the preview for tonight's show. We are going to be speaking with retired Chief of Staff from the New York City Medical Examiner's Office, Barbara Butcher. She has so much experience in legal death investigations. She knows everything about the business. We are bringing on the experts to give us a bit of information on Vicky White's autopsy report that was not a report released. It is just the cause and manner that was released by the coroner, Steve Lockyer. So, Ed, how you doing today? And are you in the middle of business right now?
No, I'm on a break.
So he's in the middle of business, but on a break. So officially, he's on a break. Ed, thank you for taking out a moment of your day to talk to our audience, to tell them what we have as a preview tonight. Could you just give them an idea of what we're going to go over tonight?
Yeah, we're going to go over how a medical examiner can make a determination of suicide by self-inflicted gunshot wound.
And it's going to be again, like what we always do with Barbara. She's going to talk to us in layman's terms to break down all of the elements that are involved when a autopsy is conducted on someone who is suspected to commit suicide. So I put in the title, did Casey White shoot Vicky White? And we're going to give you the answers in no uncertain terms. Everything and anything about the investigation. Now, Ed is well versed in this because he knows all about the different elements that go into play to come up with a determination. All right, but a lot of us are getting mixed signals and mixed information. Ed and I, before we went live, we were just bouncing off of each other. Still, here we are, still days later, and Ed and I still are not sure 100% if Vicky White was driving the vehicle or Casey White driving the vehicle. How many people in the chat are just as frustrated and confused as we are, seasoned investigators? I mean, Ed, we should have a clear answer. And many people, many authorities were asked by different various news outlets who was driving the car. And we got marshals saying we think Casey was driving it. Retired U.S. marshals saying I think Casey's driving it. You got people like on Banfield talking about, well, we're not really sure. I mean,
yeah, I'm trying to do all this research, and every article that I'm reading, I'm getting conflicting information. I have one article that says she was driving. I have another article saying he was driving. I have a press conference. The sheriff says she was driving. It's just crazy. And it's not just that. It's even the information about the vehicles. I pulled up one article the other day from Fox News, and the reporter says the vehicle, the pickup truck was stolen. Then I read another article, and it says the pickup truck was purchased. You know, there's so much misinformation out there.
Iris Hewlett says, it's only happened 2 days ago. Well, 2 days is long enough to come up with definitive answers of what happened. You know, the sheriff in Indiana was pressed by media. And, you know, kudos to Brian Enton. He asked some tough questions, and he asked them about the reward money. Will the reward money be paid out to the hero, James? And he dismissed that because Indiana authorities have nothing to do with the reward money. That was the U.S. Marshals and the district attorney from Lauderdale County. So he was like, hey, listen, I'm just here mopping up this mess and bringing these two fugitives to justice. And then he was also further asked, not by Brian, but by Ashley Banfield, he was asked, what does your deputies feel? Like, how did they feel about taking one of your own, is what she said, one of your own out of the vehicle? And he doubled down with her and he said, Ashley, once she crossed the line and committed that crime by taking a murderer outside of her facility, she became one of them. She was just like any other perpetrator that we've dealt with. We treated her just like a criminal. Any thoughts on that? What, I mean, I was happy that he said that.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, once you cross that line, you are no longer a cop. Even if you
Yeah.
haven't been caught committing crimes, you're a criminal.
And don't get us wrong, folks. We feel sorry for her family. We feel sorry for her mom. Her mother is an elderly woman. We saw the interviews with her. She seemed like a frail, sweet, old, elderly woman. Now she has to be left behind. And I talk about the victims' families all the time. I talk about supporting crime victims and their families. Well, her mom, Vicky White's mom, is who's left to grieve her daughter killing herself, committing a horrible crime and going from correction officer of the year to complete zero. It is horrifying on a human level. We say we feel bad for her, but she was asking him professionally, how does your men and how does the men, it was only men that were at that scene, how did your men respond to pulling out or dragging out one of their own? And he said, she's not one of our own. Once she went out of that facility and broke that guy out, she became a criminal. So again, a lot of elements to things that are going on. You know, James at the car wash, the manager, deserves, and Ed and I agree wholeheartedly, he deserves the reward money. There's no question in our minds and in our hearts that he had quite a bit to do with putting the investigators onto the Cadillac and the trail from his video at his location. But that's the partnership between law enforcement and the public, right, Ed?
Yes, you know, I will disagree with the sheriff a little bit. She became a criminal when she started planning this, not the execution of it. She entered into a conspiracy with him to break him out of prison, and all the planning and all the preparations and the purchasing of the false IDs and the moves with the sale of her house and getting monies ready, buying the car. That's all conspiracy to commit the crime. So she became a criminal when she started planning this with him.
Right. So we could back that up to whenever the planning stages happen, and we don't even have a clear picture of that because I'm not sure if even the sheriff even knows of when this started happening. So Casey White brought back. We saw him the perp walk back into the county courthouse in Lauderdale, and then immediately under heavy duty armament and heavy duty, tactical officers, was brought to a secure state prison. Any thoughts or ideas about that? I didn't think it was a great idea for him to go back to the place that he was just busted out of. I think that was a good idea and a good move on the sheriff's part.
Yes. And I see there's a lot of questions here, forensic questions about cadaveric spasm, when the hand locks are on the handgun after being shot in the head. I spoke about that in the past, but we'll hold that off until tonight when we're on with Barbara.
Right. So for those of you who are joining late here, we're going to have retired New York City medical examiner, chief of staff, Barbara Butcher. She's going to come on to talk about how the coroner comes to his conclusion in his autopsy result. He is a 25-year detective with the Vanderburgh County Sheriff's Office. He served as Vanderburgh County Chief Deputy Coroner from 2009 to 2016, and he took the office as the coroner in January of 2017. So we're going to ask Barbara, what are Steve Lockyer's qualifications? And, again, she's going to do her homework on him. I don't know anything about him, but he was at the press conference and he was introduced very briefly. And the sheriff did introduce him, but just quickly. He was just standing there. There was no questions sent to him. There was nothing asked of him. Josh, we have a piece of media that I want to play. Do you have time, Ed, to hang around for this? It's just
just a couple more minutes, and then I got to go.
All right, Josh, take that off. We'll play this after Ed goes. I just wanted to show the dash cam video, but we're going to show that again tonight. But I want to show you guys the dash cam video so you can hear and see some of the things that went on during the course of these two fugitives taken into custody. Ed, any thoughts or anything that you want to get out about tonight's show for everybody?
Ron, are you talking about the dash cam or the body cams?
The dash cam.
Okay, yeah. Are we going to show the body cam later tonight?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's hold off on that then. I'll wait to talk about what was discovered when they approached the vehicle and her position in the vehicle and so forth tonight. So
yes, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to talk about. We're going to have Barbara for about 35 minutes or so, and then Ed and I will take over the additional part, the ending part of the show. So tonight I have linked down below in the description here a link to tonight's show. You can go over there. It's already scheduled. Ed, I'll email it to you after we get off. So yeah, that's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So just check your local times, whatever time zone you're in. It's 8:30 p.m. East Coast. Ed's behind us, I think, 2 hours. So it'll be just around dinner time for him, a little bit past dinner time. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tonight. I'm looking forward to talking to Barbara about this.
me too, me too. So folks, I'll see you guys later tonight. I got to get back to work.
Thank you, Ed. We'll see you soon.
All right. Peace.
All right.
Bye.
Take care, Ed. So Josh, let's play the dash cam quickly. This is the sheriffs in Indiana approaching the scene coming up, and we're going to go full screen with it and let you guys listen to it real quick. I know you guys have seen it all. Well, this is actually dash cam. I mean, this is actually body cam.
Clear some of this shit out of the way so we can get out of here. Okay. He is. Oh, he shot himself. Davis, you good? You need anything? You need anything?
No, she's good.
Okay.
She's still got it in her hand. I don't know.
Got the gun in her hand?
Yeah, she's got a gun.
All right, watch it.
Hello, Roro. Good to see you. All right, Josh, you can stop this. Stop this. All right. You know, I thought it was the dash cam. I guess I must have sent you the wrong file, but it's okay. Not a problem. We're going to be showing that tonight, and we're going to break down exactly all of the things that were happening with the vehicle, where the firearm was recovered. But I wanted to say hello to Roro from Bakersfield, California. Thank you for stopping in. Always great to see you. Much love to everybody. That's Sincere and Classics, Ground Zero, Bakersfield, California. We're still going to be following and covering that case too going forward in the future. So again, this body cam footage is instrumental. It's a lot of good information that we see from this, because it shows locations, where the gun was positioned, all of the things that we're going to speak about tonight is going to be centered around this body cam footage. But we also have a 911 call from Brian Enton's Twitter feed, and it was available on a whole bunch of other different outlets. I want you guys to listen to the 911 call, but before I play it, this is what I want to offer to you as the devil's advocate here, is we all are confused. Was she driving? Was he driving? Who was driving this Cadillac? Who was in behind this pursuit? But when we listen to this 911 or Cadillac OnStar thing that called 911, we hear Vicky White telling him to stop, or telling him, she was giving him directions. And it almost sounded like, to me, it was him driving the car. Let me know in the comment section and down below, or here in the live chat, if you think it was him driving, or do you think it was her, based on this 911 call. Go ahead, Josh, play it.
911. Hello?
John. Airbags are going on. Let's get out and run. Let's back to the fucking hotel.
Hello?
All right, Josh, just stop it there. But keep it on the screen. I want you to go back, but before you go back, I want you guys to hear that last scream, that last yelp that she made. There was a loud bang shortly thereafter, and I think, and I'm not 100% certain, but I think that's when the gunshot went off. because after that, you don't hear anything from Vicky White. You hear Casey White being taken out by the deputies, but all you hear from there on is the siren and the sound of the ignition, making the ignition noise when the door is open with a key in the ignition. So again, I want to play that back one more time, and we're going to listen to it tonight with Ed Wallace. But it sounds like when she gives that last gasp, it's a high-pitched gasp. It sounds like there is a bang shortly, like seconds, milliseconds later. So, you know, just to hear her voice and these last final seconds of her life is kind of chilling, you know, and it's even chilling for a seasoned detective like myself. So, again, for those of us in the chat thinking that it was him that shot him, we're going to talk tonight about why and how they determined that it wasn't him that shot her. And, you know, we're going to hear from the expert, Barbara Butcher. She is a retired New York City medical examiner, chief of staff. She ran the largest medical examiner's office in the United States. And she's going to tell us, under no uncertain terms, how they come to this determination. And it will give us a better understanding and knowledge. It'll give us the knowledge that we need to understand and to come to the conclusion. But all the way this is all played out, all fingers do point, or not all fingers, but it kind of makes us point to that he shot her just to silence her. All right, this is one less person that's going to talk. But really, if you look at the big picture, she wasn't going to make or break this guy with his sentencing. He's already serving 75 years, and he's got the 2 capital murder charges behind him now, plus the breakout and all of this stuff. It wouldn't matter what she said legally to him if they were both brought in alive. So the thought of and the theory of him killing her so she would be silenced, it wouldn't matter what she said. But Josh, go ahead. Let's play this back from the beginning.
Oh my God.
911.
Please stop. They're going to everybody's going to walk and kill us.
Hello?
Thank God. Airbags are going on. Let's get out and run. Get us back to the fucking hotel.
Hello?
And then that's it. You don't hear her anymore. So there's so many moments of, you know, nothing there. It's just the sirens, the clicking of the ignition, the key in the ignition with the door open. Again, you know, troubling to listen to. People will slow it down and enhance that. Again, it doesn't change the dynamic of what he's going to be charged with. We are going to speak tonight, and I don't want to give away the shot, but we are going to go into major detail on what and how the medical examiner's office and how they come to the determination that she committed suicide by self-inflicted gunshot wound. There's going to be clear indicators and markers that Barbara will explain to you guys. So I implore you, if you're not yet subscribed to Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, please take a moment now to give a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, share this video out. What we try to do here is bring the professionals on so we can get an education and have a better understanding of the process. And I want to say a special thank you to all of the replay viewers, the Patreon supporters, the people who send super chats, that send super thanks after when you're watching the replays. oh my goodness, you guys are what makes this a great place. All of the subscribers, the DutyRon Crime Time with DutyRon family, you guys are second to none. And I tip my cap to each and every one of you guys. And thank you for all of the engagement that you guys provide, not only for me and Ed Wallace, but you provide your engagement with questions for everybody who watches. There's a certain segment of our audience who do not even communicate with us, but they learn and they watch and they listen to the experts that we have come on. Tonight, a legal medical death investigator, Barbara Butcher. She spent over 27 years in the New York City Medical Examiner's Office. She's going to join us live at 8:30 p.m. to talk about the results, the determination by Steve Lockyer, the medical examiner out of the Indiana Evansville area. He is the medical examiner who came up with suicide by self-inflicted gunshot wound for Vicky White. He's the county coroner in Vanderburgh County Coroner's Office, and he is charged and taxed with making this determination. And we all need answers. We want answers. We want to know exactly how we come to this determination. So I think in the coming days, in the coming weeks going forward, there will be an actual medical examiner's report that may come out that will show people, hey, under no uncertain terms, this is what we found. These are the findings that we found. Pete Pranzel, Harlem Raiders, great to see you. Thank you for joining. Girl Friday. I want to just go to the chat and say hello to everybody. If you're new and you're just subscribed, or if you're brand new here on Crime Time with DutyRon, let me know by saying new in the chat so I can see how many folks are new here. Heather, whatever, I know you've been here for a long time. Thank you so much for being here and coming back to all the replay views. If you're new and you're just newly joining this live stream, let me know by saying new in the chat. Thank you, Rick Smith, subscribed yesterday. Thank you so much. Let me go take a peek at that message. I subscribed yesterday because you seem to have the ability to stop some of the wacky theories people like to come up with on the internet. Well, we do go and break it down in layman's terms, and we give you the professional overview of how it goes, how law enforcement and how the medical examiner's office work hand in hand with coming up with a determination. Schmitty, I know you're not new. Hello, Alexis. Good to see you. Lily Pad, thank you for being new. Thank you, Lily Pad. Let's see, who else? Been here from a long time. Lily Pad says still new. Jennifer says I'm old. Well, Cujo is new. Thank you for joining. John Martin, thank you. 8:30 p.m. The show is linked in the description, folks. The show is linked in the description. So let me just go to the current comments. Nick, day one. Thank you, Tara Ellis. Hello, Kachar. Thank you. Hi, DutyRon. You are awesome, says Janice Canfield. Thank you. Someone just said semi-new. That was pretty cool. I like that. Semi-new. So it's great to have everybody. It was Jackie happy with a twist acrylic pores. Thank you, Jackie, for being semi-new. Again, we are going to give it to you from that police perspective, but we're going to have Barbara. She's going to come on tonight, 8:30 p.m. The show is linked down below in the description. So if you are confused about the time, look at the description in this live stream. There's a YouTube video link that'll link you to the Tonight Show. You could go there and set the reminder. If you're not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. TikTok, not Snapchat. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, all one word, DutyRon. And again, Ed Wallace, against his wishes, we are on TikTok. So let's read this one. It comes in from CTA, $10 super chat. No way, she says stop, or the airbags will go off and kill us. Then 4 seconds later, caps herself. Don't believe it for a second. Listen, there will always be somebody that will be in that position, and I respect how everybody feels, because if I didn't know anything about this process and how the medical examiner's office worked, and I didn't see them actually in action solving cases and solving murders that are many questions to how they could have occurred or how they could have happened. If I didn't see it for myself, then I would be very speculative too. I would be very leery of the process. But because I've seen it happen right in front of me, I've witnessed many autopsies being conducted, and I've witnessed and seen many explanations from the medical examiner's office on how they come to their determination. So tonight we're going to have that benefit for those of you who want to learn, for those of you who want to see what, what goes on and how they come up with cause and manner of death, and not just Vicky White's case, but in all the cases that we talk about. Then you want to tune in tonight, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and consider subscribing, hitting the notification bell, so you will get all things DutyRon and Ed Wallace when we go live. Now, these questions of why did she shoot herself? Why do you think that, why are they saying that he didn't shoot her? It's like we all think that this guy should have just been responsible for shooting her. But if in fact he did shoot her, there would be clear and concise evidence that he did. And we're going to talk about that tonight. So I'm not going to give up the shop to you guys right here and right now, because this is a preview. This is a little tickler, a little teaser, if you will. Talking about that he wanted a shootout for with the police. I've seen a lot of bad people, a lot of bad criminals talk a big, good game. And when it came down to putting handcuffs on them and placing them in cuffs, they become big crybabies. So a lot of people talk the talk, but can't walk the walk. So I'm not really sure if he was just trying to, create, this or follow in that bad guy footsteps. But we'll see how this progresses and how it goes along and how he fares in the pokey. I think that, in prison and in jail, or where, he's going to go from prison to jail before his trial. And that's going to be the tricky thing. When he has the trial next month for these capital murder charges, he has to go to a county jail. That jail that he broke out of is where all the prisoners go that are awaiting trial and that our trials are about to commence. So I don't know if there's any other place for him to go. Could you imagine him eventually having to go back to that same facility? The amount of overtime and extra manpower that they're going to have to put on this guy every day. The sheriff said that we don't have any room in our facility, that we have double and triple prisoners in the same cell and they're sleeping on the floor. We heard Sheriff Singleton say that on the news. And he said, but Casey White, when he comes back here, he's going to be in his own cell and he's going to be shackled and he's going to be handcuffed and they're going to put extra people on him. And he doubled down on his policy of 2 correction officers to escort him everywhere he goes. So Mr. Singleton, the sheriff, said to Ashley Banfield that Casey White will be back to his facility at some point in the future. I mean, that's cringeworthy to even think of that. By a show of hands, who here in the chat is kind of freaked out by that Casey White could be back in the jail that he broke out of with help from a correction officer? I don't know, man. It is what it is. Guys, I want to say thank you to all of the replay viewers, the people who leave comments down below. You guys are what makes this a great place. Thank you, Cat Lover 33, TH, Dan1, Barbara Ann, Connie Just Connie, Marilyn. Thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging. Also, I'd like to do this once in a blue. Let me know where you guys are watching and listening from, your city and state. And if you're outside of the United States, let me know what country you're in. I'm just curious of how many people are listening outside of the country. I know we have some South African folks, some people from South Africa. We have some from Australia and the UK. But I'm just curious, who here is from outside the country? Lexi is from Arkansas. Princess Michelle from Arizona. He's not back in that prison. East Texas, Scotland, Pineapple Slushy. Hello from Mobile, Alabama. My relatives live in Mobile. We have a condo right on the Gulf, and we go shrimping out in the Gulf. We go shrimping. Jakey is from the UK. Hello from Wisconsin, Josie. Jen is from Spotsville, Pennsylvania. Hello from South Florida, Vanessa. Thank you. Twins Fall, Idaho. Robin Roach. Matty Boy Sully, East Meadow right now. Hello from Denmark. Thank you for joining. Springs, Mississippi, Los Angeles, Pixie Dust Mama, Chicago. I like to do this because it's engagement for me and you. It's engagement for us. RJA in California. Hello from New Orleans. Thank you. Thank you. Alicia B. Good to see you. I know where you are. Chevy Chase, Maryland. Unsolved Crimes Uncovered, New Hampshire. Orange Beach, California. Hello. Go Bruins, go. Boston. Thank you from North California. South Africa, Rebecca. Hungary from, oh, wow, Hungaria. Wow. We got a Hungarian. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for joining. All right, guys, love and respect from my house to yours. Thank you so much for your engagement and your hanging out here. 8:30 p.m. I'm excited about the show tonight. I think you will enjoy it. If you can't watch it live, please watch the replay. Give this video a thumbs up. If you guys can right now, everybody go and hit that thumbs up button. It costs nothing. Let's see how we're doing on the thumbs up. I only showed 30. I only showed 31, 32 thumbs up. But I'm hoping that maybe that can get up to a little bit higher than 30 or so. I think my counter is off. You're welcome, Nancy. It's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. All right, we'll see you guys all tonight. As I like to end all of these live streams, God bless the world. God bless the United States of America, and God bless each and every one of us here in the chat, but especially all victims of crime and their families. Vicky White's mother and all of the crime victims. And I would say this, the people who Casey White has terrorized over his time are now resting easy. You know, we can't forget about the victim who he stabbed and is standing charged with and having a up-and-coming capital murder trial. Her family, the rest of her surviving family, they can rest easy now that he is back behind bars. So guys, love and respect from my house to yours, and I will see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. on the East Coast. Talk to you soon. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again.